We're approaching the centennial of the Irish Free State this December, when Dublin became the capital of a self-governing jurisdiction and ceased to be part of the United Kingdom. A lot of things changed and a lot of things didn't change, such as a common travel area and free movement within these islands. And I don't just mean Britain and Ireland, but the Isle of Man and Guernsey and Sark and all the rest of them. So it's slightly odd to me that in an area of constant cross-traffic since, the year 563, when St Columba, Ireland's other patron saint, sailed in a wicker curragh for Kintyre to preach the gospel to the heathen Scots, somehow traffic within these islands, after all these millennia, is now something that is solely in the gift of the European Union. They saw opportunity in Brexit and they seized it by insisting that Northern Ireland could not be permitted to secede from the EU in the way that Wales did. And their justification was to protect the Good Friday Agreement, but by protecting it, they meant perverting it, by putting a hard border between Northern Ireland and the rest of the UK straight down the Irish Sea. That border gets harder with every day. The losing side of a court case in Belfast has now been given permission to appeal their loss to the UK Supreme Court on the grounds that it raises certain issues, such as whether a bunch of continentals are allowed to revise the 1801 Act of Union, which is our present kingdom's foundational document, and states pretty plainly that, quote, His Majesty's subjects of Ireland shall have the same privileges and be on the same footing as His Majesty's subjects of Great Britain. And right now, if you're in Carrickfergus or Enniskillen, you don't. Baroness Hoey is one of our few parliamentarians speaking up about this. Kate, I take it you're quite pleased by the news this is going to be heading to the Supreme Court.
Yes, it was a good decision. We would have obviously appealed separately if the High Court had not allowed it to happen. But it's better when they sent it. And also they sent it basically saying that they thought it was hugely important constitutionally for the Supreme Court to look at. And it is very important, not just for Northern Ireland, but for the whole of the Union. And quite honestly, the media has taken very little interest in this up until now. But when it gets to the Supreme Court, I think it will. But yes, you see, the reality is in the appeal court, we lost the case, but we lost it in the sense that we won that the Act of Union had been altered, but the court ruled that that was allowed by Parliament. And of course, I don't think I could meet a single member of Parliament who thought that by voting for the withdrawal agreement and the protocol that they were actually getting rid of a section of the Act of Union.
Do you think that Boris Johnson thought he was amending the Act of Union when he agreed to the protocol?
No, I really don't think that the Prime Minister thought about it like that at all. I mean, let's remember that they were under great pressure to get Brexit done, and I understand that. And I don't think they realised, but also I think they thought that within the protocol, there was enough room for flexibility, for manoeuvre, for the European Union to accept that this wasn't going to be permanent. There are bits that actually talk about temporary arrangements. And of course, what we saw, as you said earlier there, that the European Union used it very much as a way of beating not just the United Kingdom in terms of why because they'd left, but also supporting the Irish Republic in where it would like to see, which is obviously a united Ireland, but getting to that stage, you have an economic united Ireland, and that's what's coming about now every day, literally, as more and more things, more and more businesses decide not to trade with Northern Ireland. So I don't think the Prime Minister, but to be fair, I like to be fair to the Prime Minister now and again, and I do think he has genuinely recognised now. He has said it before, but I think he realises that he's basically had enough, that something has to happen. The European Union have had every opportunity to negotiate, to listen to and they haven't listened. So we have to take the action, and the government's going to have to legislate to get rid of Section 7A of the European Withdrawal Act 2018, which is the bit that actually says Northern Ireland stays within European Union laws rather than the United Kingdom. It is a nonsense, and it's absolutely outrageous, really. And I think more people are beginning to realise that. Perhaps people didn't really realise the repercussions, and I think they are beginning to now in the rest of the United Kingdom.
Well, why doesn't the government just do that? You know the old Stalin line about how many divisions has the Pope. How many divisions has the European Union bureaucracy in Brussels? Why doesn't he just get on and do it? Because every day is more damaging.
And yes, and every day it's costing more to Northern Ireland business. But yes, I mean, if this had happened a year ago, things would have been very, very different. I mean, there's always been an excuse, hasn't there? There was COVID, then there was the COP environmental conference that we couldn't upset people. Now there's Ukraine. And I've made it very, very clear that precisely this is the time when we're sticking up for the constitutional independence of an independent country, Ukraine. The European Union should be saying, well, of course we want to make sure that the United Kingdom is an independent country, and that includes Northern Ireland. But I don't want to see the Prime Minister announcing something in the Queen's speech, which is possible that he will, if they don't mean it. We've been walked up to the top of the hill too many times over the last year or so and walked back down again, and that is not going to be acceptable and is leading to all sorts of instability in Northern Ireland.
Well, you make a very good point with Ukraine there, Kate, because basically the Russians, if you do it the old-fashioned way by rolling tanks across the border, everyone gets steamed at you and everyone gets mad at you. But if you just use the bureaucracy and regulation to annex a neighbouring state, then apparently the European Union is fine with it. Thank you very much, Kate. It's always great to see you, and you're one of the few people who speaks up about this. Come on, Boris. Let's get this done.
Welcome to the GB News YouTube channel. You can watch us live 24 hours a day, catch up on your favourite shows, and join in the conversation in the comments below.
Don't forget to subscribe and you'll never miss any of our exclusive content.